everybody. Welcome to your favorite White Sox podcast. The White Sox did a what? Brought to you by your favorite co-host, JJ3, and his partner, me, Harry. Just here to let you know all the good things the Sox did, the very, very bad things the Sox did, and all anything Sox orgy related in between. JJ3, where do you want to start?
We got to start with the latest minor league call up, right? Um,
Oh, Thornton.
yeah, Drew Thorpe.
Oh,
It's
is
Chicago.
it
You
Thorpe? I thought it
mispronounce
was
names all the
Thornton.
time. It's all good. Yeah, it's Thorpe.
Thorpe. My apologies. Drew
No,
Thorpe. That's how new he is. I don't even got his name right. I'm thinking about the
we
gas station.
Chicagoans, bro. We mispronounce everybody's name. It's all good.
How'd you feel
So,
about his start?
he got called up earlier than I had anticipated, which is all good. It's no problems. Let the young guys play. Um, his start was fine. I mean, it's nothing otherworldly, right? Nothing to write home about and say we got an ace for the next 10 years or anything like that. I mean, even if he was at the rate the White Sox are going, they'd probably trade him in a couple years anyway. But he had a good outing.
Yeah.
He pitched 5 innings. He had a shade under 100 pitches that he threw. Only gave up one earned run. The other run that was scored was unearned, so it didn't really go against him. I mean, he had a positive outing. It's something for him to build upon. His control wasn't necessarily there the entire time, but I mean, you're a rookie, you're making your first start. He probably had a few nerves, probably had some nervous energy and some high adrenaline rushing through his body at times. So, all in all, I would say it's a positive start for him. What did you think?
He wasn't what I expected. I don't know why in my head I thought he was another fastball pitcher. I love fastball pitchers. The more the better. But he seems to be a very decent off-ball pitcher with a nasty changeup that goes from like 92 to 80 in a snap. So the four strikeouts he had, three came from his changeup, and one came from his slider. So he's reminiscent of not that he is a player, but you always have to compare a Hall of Famer star to how a style. He's got a more Tommy Maddox style. If he gains control and keeps working on that changeup at the right times, he can do some damage because a lot of his balls are unhittable, which is a great
Oh,
thing because it helps the def. Right. I'm sorry. A lot. Let me restart. A lot of his balls were unpalmable. I'm sorry. Let me say it again. A lot of his balls were not the easiest to hit with a baseball bat because yeah, it just was always at the awkward edges of the strike zone the whole time.
yeah.
Some of it got very predictable, but he had it in the right areas. He's got a nice little arsenal. I'm hoping he develops more, but I do like the transition from his change up to slider. I saw a couple of curveballs. I wasn't mega impressed because I'm never super impressed about non fastball pitcher guys, but he was pretty solid. I love the way he utilized that changeup for all his third and fourth pitches on every batter. So it starts off really high. I thought it was going to hit the middle of the strike zone. It hit the bottom. Like you said, one real earned run. I don't like that it took 98 pitches and only 5 innings. He's going to have to work on that because that's the only thing about a lot of off-ball pitchers. They throw a lot of pitches per inning because they're trying to get a lot of ground balls, a lot of foul outs, and then honestly, all you need is one strike. So it's a little weird with those guys. I gotta get used to him, but as long as he keeps it low and keeps him having under 2 ERA for his quality starts, for now at least, he's just a guy that's gonna probably be a good middle reliever with his style for now. Like you said, it could have been nerves, but if you're gonna throw 98 pitches in sub 6 innings, your team better have good middle reliever and good closer. I don't know if it's something Sox can continually support because I don't like our relievers. I don't like our closers right now. The amount of leads
Facts.
we've given up is way too many. So
Facts.
yeah, I'm all for any pitchers that can be more efficient and at least make it to the seventh or eighth like Crochet. But we'll see what happens. He's I'm not impressed, but I don't hate it. I like what I see. I hope it continues. I can see a lot of wins from him for his style. But again, it was Seattle, which is one of the top 3 to 5 teams that lead in strikeouts. With the Angels, I think it goes Mariners, Red Sox, Angels, and then I think Cubs are like number 4. So yeah, no, I liked it. It was solid. I just wish he got the win. He didn't. It is what it is. Brebbia, probably our worst closer. I still don't know about Banks. He's on and off, but we just got to stop giving these leads up. I'm shocked they didn't put Kopech in there to close for Thorpe, but that's a whole nother set of issues.
It is a whole nother set of issues because Kopech's already contributed to blowing several late leads in these ball games. He definitely gave up 3 runs against Seattle, so Kopech is struggling to find his footing once again. So that's not a surprise or any sort of a shock. It would be nice.
I thought he had it back.
Well, he might have had it back, but he lost it again. So it went away that quickly. Like I said, lost leads against Seattle, lost leads against Boston, lost leads against the North Side team. So this bullpen, Kopech included, have struggled mightily over the last 2 to 3 weeks, and really the entire season. I mean, let's be honest about things. So
yeah, honestly,
the struggles have continued. The patterns and trends of establishing leads and then giving them up late in the worst possible manner has continued. I mean, we can recap almost every single time. I mean, you put up crooked numbers, you score 4 or 5 runs early in games, and then you get to the 7th, 8th, or 9th, and you completely collapse. That's terrible no matter how you look at it, bro. I mean, there's no easy way to say it or to slice it. Kopech gave up 3 runs, and then I think they gave up a grand slam walk-off to end that other game, I want to say. It's all around bad, right? It's all around bad. Your bullpen is all around terrible. I think if I was Chris Getz, what I was hoping for is one of these bullpen arms to give us quality performances so I could trade them. I believe that's what Getz was hoping for. At this point, you probably can't.
In an already depleted bullpen, I think bullpen's the stuff you keep for a long time.
I mean, everything's
like, yeah, I'm just not a fan of. I'd rather trade your best hitter and your best pitcher before I trade your best bullpen guy. Bullpen are the pitchers that close the games that, honestly, you don't have to pay that much anymore to have them close games. They're not paid like starting pitchers. I'm such a fan of not moving the bullpen because it is incredibly hard to build a good bullpen to kind of close everything out.
It depends on the philosophy that you have. Like I said, the White Sox currently, it seems like their philosophy is rip everything down and everybody must go. I mean, we even got Luis Robert trade rumors circulating hot and heavy right now. We had Garrett Crochet trade rumors circulating.
I absolutely hate that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, who wouldn't hate that? So between all the bullpen problems that you're having, the continued games that you've seen yourself lose, you're back on a historic pace for losing. I mean, they've already got 51 losses now. I lost track. So I mean, you're at a weird state right now with this White Sox team to where I believe, and I could be proven wrong, that Chris Getz is essentially waving the white flag, and he's pretty much trying to get rid of every competent player on his roster for whatever prospect that he can get. I wouldn't be in favor of trading away guys like Luis Robert, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen. And when you got a bullpen that's this terrible, it makes it that much more difficult to keeping players that you have.
Again, baseball's weird to me. I understand why Cubs let go everybody because what's his name? Jed Bush, I think, whoever he is. Cubs traded away everyone. I don't pay attention up north. I can't remember the GM's name. Jeb something. No one likes him out south, but he traded everybody because it was going to cost to keep too much. So I get it. You guys have messed up on the real estate. You're negative there. You have to redo stuff. It costs like an extra $300 million. The Cubs players, though they won a championship, you have to pay Chris Bryant. You got to pay Rizzo, who's actually reasonable cost for his price. You traded away the pitching. I get it. Trade away everyone. Javi was on and off, but I don't understand White Sox wanting to trade away everyone that you're not even paying much. It just doesn't. Baseball does not make sense to me to trade guys you're not paying. How about you just keep trying to build around them over and over again? You don't move them because we're not doing well right now. Well, that's why you rebuild the roster around top pieces. What's the point of moving guys to try to get the same level of play guys back? Which I don't know if there's too many Luis Roberts in minor league or anywhere that you can get back that are that easy to get a 5-tool guy on defense and offense. I don't necessarily understand that move. I don't see where a fresh start helps here, because all a fresh start is going to do is probably get you back to this exact roster. And that's if you're lucky enough to get a Robert, a Robert. Of course, you can get a Aloy. Aloy's not that hard to get. I don't know if you're going to get another. I mean, maybe you get another Crochet, but Crochet's going for cheap right now. Why even move him? Again, you move guys that are expensive, you're paying way too much for, but you don't. That's just me. My frustrations with this team is just through the roof right now. If that's what we're doing, I thought the whole point was trade away the more expensive guys. Then you keep Robert right now, and then when it's up for contract, you can sign him now. He becomes one of those more expensive guys. We traded Cease, I guess, because he was going to be one of those more expensive, or he is one of those more expensive guys. You have Crochet not going for that much, and we're moving him too. The point is to get younger and cheaper. Right now, we're already younger and cheaper. Why are we going scorched earth? We're already at scorched earth. You can't get deeper than hell. Is there a sub hell? Nothing makes sense of what's going on with the White Sox management right now. To me, again, I'm more a basketball guy than a baseball guy, but there's a certain way to GM across all sports that doesn't have to do anything with a specific sport. You start over because of too many contracts and losing. We got rid of the big contracts. We're still losing. So it's like we're not moving guys so we can lose more and get first place. We're already losing, and we can only get we can't even get top 10 in draft pick anyway because of last year. So just the moves right now, to me, if those trade rumors are true, make no sense. We don't need to lose more. Now's the time to, all right, we got the roster as is. Now we should see, all right, who's the talent that we need to keep? And then we can keep moving all those expendable guys until we get some talent coming in. Let them go. Again, I just don't get these moves right now.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with much of what you said there. I definitely feel like we're headed down the path of completely scorched earth, though. Now, again, Chris Getz can prove us both wrong and not do that. But currently, it feels like to me, looking at the tea leaves and the landscape, based on this bullpen, which is trash, based on your starting rotation, which is trash, based on your offense, which has been trash, based on your manager, and we'll talk about that idiot coming up momentarily, which is trash. To me, it just seems like burn it all down is what he's got planned for this team. Now, he might set the price tag for a player like Luis Robert exceedingly high to where it becomes unappealing for teams to trade for him, right? He might be like, look, I want your top 4 prospects and a major leaguer back, and most teams will look at you like you crazy and they'll hang up the phone and say, not a chance. Maybe he's doing something like that to make sure that he still holds on to Robert, and just to say, yeah, we put him on the market. Maybe he's doing that. I don't know. But based on where things currently stand, this team is headed down a path where it looks like everything must go. And the bullpen is a major.
What I don't want. Major issue. No, what I don't want is to be like the Pirates of the last 20 years, where Pirates get all these great prospects. They grow to be really good that they're not even paying, and then they just become a farm system for the Yankees and Dodgers. Like, oh, Pirates have a star that they're not going to pay. Oh, let's get that guy, and then let's trade them picks again. The Pirates take those prospects, they grow them, and then they move them again. And it feels like that's what we're starting to do. And I don't want to do that because we're way too big of a market to keep playing this small ball style market thing we do with the Pirates, with the not the Astros, with the Pirates, the A's. What's another small market team that plays small? The Marlins count? I feel like Marlins are tricky.
Tampa.
Or is it? Or am I thinking? No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Devil Rays. Well, they used to be. I don't know what they are now, but they for
That's
a
the
long
Rays.
time were basic the Rays, the league's farm system, and I don't want us to be a big city team. I don't care if we pull the Mets and we just spend big money and fail. At least we're spending big money. I just, for the life of me, never understand big market teams that play this small ball style of GMing that we have been doing for honestly quite some time.
Well,
That
I
we're
mean, that
definitely
goes
doing
back
now.
to ownership, though. So that goes back to Reinsdorf and how he wants to run things. So now we're looking back at the head of the snake once again, and his philosophy of not wanting to spend like a high market team, not wanting to pay at the upper echelon uh, of talent. So that's where you start looking at how come the Sox don't act like a big market organization? How come they don't behave like a team that's trying to win and trying to compete every single year? And the main factor in that is Jerry Reinsdorf and his philosophy. He's not a guy who's going to go out there and pursue a Juan Soto because he doesn't believe in spending money for those types of players. He's not a guy who's going to pursue a Shohei Ohtani. And these are players that are the best and among the best players in the entire sport. He's openly said he's not putting money up for those players. So
To be
that
fair, there
creates
was a
an
time.
atmosphere where you're not going to be able to play like a big market.
No, well, to be fair, there was a time where we did spend money on big players, but we struck out. We're basically what the
Cool,
Angels are now. Which you
cool.
remember Andrew Jones? Andrew Jones, we spent stupid money on him and struck out. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying the mentality of spending. I'm okay with spending if you suck, but we're spending. Angels and Mets. Well, the six teams in the three biggest markets are Yankees, Mets, Cubs, Sox, Dodgers, Angels. We are. I wouldn't be shocked to see we're at the bottom of spending the last 10 years. Angels spend a lot. They just don't invest spending in pitching. And then they struck out with Rendon, I think his name is. They struck out with Rendon. They couldn't keep Otani because that contract's absurd. It literally was Dodgers or Yankees, and even Yankees are like, "Yo, this is a lot. We don't know if we want to spend this much on Otani." And then they're still keeping Trout, and somehow they've got some kind of blackmail on him because he's not choosing not to leave. Whatever they got on him, they got pictures of his wife naked or him in a compromising position with Diddy. Whatever's going on, they got Trout on lock. Because Trout's like, you know what? I'll stay because y'all asked so nicely. They're blackmailing that Trout. Mike Trout, if you're watching this, blink twice if you need us to rescue you, please. And then yeah, Yankees, Mets are probably the third team in that echelon where they spend like crazy, and
They
they
do.
still owe players money that ain't played in like 15 years. They owe so many people money, but you know what? That doesn't stop them because they're like, "Yo, this is baseball. We're trying to win. We're trying to keep up with the. Let's spend." So they could owe me, you, Bobby Vanilla, Bill Gates money. They're gonna keep spending. They're one of the teams that I think they're the only team that got destroyed in that Enron scandal thing because they invested money in Enron. And you know what they did? Like, hey, baby, keep spending. They're strippers' favorite teams. They're a strippers' favorite team because they keep spending. Like, man, I don't like the Mets. I've never liked the Mets. I don't like anything about them, but I do appreciate their effort to keep spending on big players that they can get because they know when big players come to New York, they're probably looking at the Yankees because the Yankees are known for spending. But like, whoa, we're right here too. Like, come on over here, Scherzer. We got you, Verlander. And they didn't do anything, but they at least attempted. And I understand going scorched earth there because they're paying old pitchers that were great ages ago big money now. So it's like, all right, we got to get rid of all the big contracts. And even with that, they still kept Pete Alonso and a few other guys because they know, like, hey, these players are good for really cheap right now. And I just don't. in my opinion, we're as a Sox fan, we're already at scorched earth right now. There's no more scorched earth to go. You build around the talent you have. If we trade everyone, now we're just trying to get another Luis Robert. We're trying to get another Garrett Crochet.
Right.
We're last in defense. We're last in offense.
Last in
Injury
everything.
prone Aloy.
Right.
Right. Just let go the injury prone players that aren't really contributing that much. So Aloy, Aloy. And you see
Well,
we
that's
can
going to
move
happen regardless.
Mancada.
That's going to happen regardless as well. Both of
And
those guys are going to end up being gone.
I'd rather attach Aloy or attach Moncada to an actual valuable trade piece when we traded Cease. I don't understand why we couldn't force Aloy or Moncada on to other teams. Like, hey, how bad do you want Cease? A lot of teams wanted Cease. People are acting like we couldn't just attach Aloy and they have to take Aloy with Cease. They would have gladly. And either Aloy would have just sat on the bench all the time, but my guess is he would have had a DH spot because every team wants an extra DH that can hit. There's not that many people that can hit home runs out the park consistently. A healthy Aloy can't. He just can't stay healthy. There's plenty of teams that would have took Aloy along with Cease.
I don't agree with that.
But also, if you give him 40 games, I can see 8 to 10 home runs.
8 to 10 home. No team is going to care about 8 to 10 home runs. But if you're throwing
in 40 games, that's a good number in 40 games.
Nah,
That's added offense.
I don't think I agree. And if you're
for an
throwing
everyday
Aloy
player
in and begging the team to take him, then what are you demanding to get back in exchange? Like, teams are going to give you less prospect value.
I think they give us more because we're adding more. Aloy isn't a hindrance. He might stay healthy. The issue with Aloy is his health, not necessarily his skill. If his skill is an issue, I get it. But it's his health. If it's our trainers that whatever they're doing with Aloy just doesn't work, move him somewhere with Cease where, you know what? We made Tatis healthy, Fernando Tatis healthy, and we can also see what we can do with Aloy. And if he works out, now you got a five in the order of Arez, Tatis, Machado. I forget who the fourth man is, and then Aloy. That's a decent first 5 to go through. That's not a bad first 5 to go through. He'll never run the bases because they don't want to get him injured. You see what?
Which is part of the reason teams aren't going to be jumping for joy to try to trade for him either. So I don't think it matters. I don't think it's relevant. I don't think any team was really sitting here saying, yeah, sure, we'll take that extra baggage as well, and we'll also give you better prospect talent. I don't think that was ever going to happen. And that's why he wasn't included in any trades. I don't believe he has trade value.
I think that's an issue on Getz.
Perhaps it could be.
I think that's a negative on Getz. That's just me.
There's issues everywhere. There's issues all over the place.
Because we have the leverage. If you have the leverage, you should do more. We can't have the leverage and then give it away just to get. Not that Thorpe isn't great, but we traded a top. Cease is a top 10 pitcher in the league. We traded a top 10 pitcher for something we could have got back for something we could have got more from other teams. I don't like what we got for Cease, even though I'm not mad at getting Thorpe, but we could have added Aloy just to move Aloy. And if we're going to start over systematically versus letting them walk. Who knows if we could have got more? If we couldn't have got more, then we couldn't have got more. But just moving Aloy is a benefit. Moving Aloy and getting maybe one extra prospect back, I would have took that. If it doesn't come from Padres, give it to Cincinnati.
We don't necessarily know if that was ever on the table. I'm going to say I don't believe it was on the table. I'm going to say I don't think any team would have had interest in picking him up as an inclusion along with Dylan Cease. But we don't know if that was necessarily on the table. So it's tough to say whether or not that was a mistake on Getz's part. In totality of the trade, it's tough to judge the trade as well. But I think initially when that trade happened, that I also was kind of hoping they could have gotten more back in exchange. But moving on from that, in the time we've got left, let's talk about your boy, your guy, your favorite manager,
Grafol?
Pedro Grafol.
Okay.
I've said numerous times I'm not voting for Pedro. I'm not a fan. I don't like his managerial decisions. I don't like how he manages the pitching staff, the bullpen. I don't like how he talks to the media. I don't like how he relates to the players. I have not seen anything about Pedro Grafol that I have found a reason to support. Somebody who was
he is the second highest paid manager in the league.
He's what now?
The second highest paid manager in the league this year.
Pedro Grafol is?
Yep. Craig Counsell of the team up north is number one at like 8.5 million. Pedro Grafol is at number 2 at 5.5. So there you have it. The White Sox finally pay money, big money for someone.
He needs a pay cut.
And it is Pedro Grafol at 5.5 mil.
He needs a pay cut expeditiously because there's no reason he should be making anything more than minimum wage. I mean,
series is making only 4 million. 4.5.
He previously had 4.5 what?
4.5 million. He's making more than Bochy from the Rangers.
Yeah, like I said, he's been making minimum wage. A few weeks ago, he criticized the team, saying that they were effing flat. And that, from what I've read, that did not go over well with the players in that locker room, or in that clubhouse, I should say.
It better not go well, because none of the players are disciplined.
None of them are disciplined. So it's tough for me to say when you call them out for being flat. Okay, maybe they were flat, and maybe that's true. But if you don't have a fundamentally sound team or a disciplined team, and now you as the manager want to call them flat, well, you need to look in the mirror first, homie, because those issues start with you. Like, if they're flat, if they're not ready to play, part of that responsibility falls at your feet. So before you start calling them out in the media,
absolutely,
you need to really start checking yourself. And then when he was called to elaborate on why he thought that was the case, he didn't give any explanation or follow-up or any reason. Not good. Like, if you're going to call your team out and say that they're flat, back it up with something. Give me something of some substance to really drive that point home of why you feel that way. Furthermore, your favorite catcher, Maldonado, who I think right now is hitting what, 074?
You mean Corey Lee? Corey Lee is my favorite catcher.
Yeah, Corey Lee is your favorite catcher on this team. But Maldonado, who should have been DFA'd, is still getting tick. And when asked why Maldonado was still playing, Pedro's response was, well, I like him. No further elaboration or follow-up. What do you like about a player
what is he doing?
Who's batting 74? 0.74 is his average. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why is he playing? Why is he starting at all? Why? There was a time he was coming up in the order. You could have pinch hit for him. You didn't pinch hit for him. Why? Because I like Maldonado in that spot. What the fuck do you like about this dude?
He must be a great practice player, because I don't know what's going on right now with Pedro's relationship with Maldonado
in the world that's worth putting out there when he's batting 074. There's no justification for it. Not at all. We can't rationalize it. He should not be playing whatsoever. DFA this scrub. Get him up out of here. Send him on his way. Tell him get some tacos on the way out and grab a milkshake while he's at it. Like, he should not come back.
Yeah, that was a little racist. And that was a little racist and sizist. Are you saying that because he might be Mexican?
I'm saying that because tacos are good.
That's true. I just want to make sure. Just want to clear it up.
I'm just saying.
Tacos
on your way out. You know what I'm saying? Straight
facts.
Up. All facts. And get you a customary milkshake. We know the milkshake is bomb. Enjoy. Have fun. Please believe. I wish you luck in all your future endeavors. But on this team, he should not be catching. He should not be seeing any tick whatsoever. This manager, no adjustments, no leadership, right? He's come out and said that Jerry Reinsdorf, nobody wants to win more than Jerry Reinsdorf. So now he's giving me hollow lip service as well. Because nothing
Yep.
Jerry Reinsdorf has
Company
done is
man
shown me that he wants to win games. He doesn't spend money like he wants to win games. He doesn't
at
go
all.
through at all. He doesn't go through proper managerial hires. He doesn't go through proper processes for general managers or managers in terms of trying to elevate this team in order to win games. What has Reinsdorf shown that proves he wants to win anything at all? All he's shown is that he wants to squeeze as many nickels and dimes as he can out of a quarter. That's it. There's nothing going on right now from Reinsdorf or Pedro Grafol that deserves any support. To drive that home even further, Ozzie Guillen comes out and says on live television on the post-game show after the White Sox blow yet another lead, Ozzie says, does Pedro Grafol think people in Chicago are stupid? He follows that up by saying 99% of what Pedro Grafol says is false. 99% of
I'd
what
go full
pertains
100.
to baseball,
Ozzy was being nice.
99% of what pertains to baseball that comes out of Pedro Grafal's mouth, according to Ozzie Guillen, is false. Clearly, Ozzy's not a fan of dude either. So why this loser still has a job, the only reason, and not the only reason, let me back that up a little bit, right? Part of the reason he has a job is because of the salary, because Jerry's not going to fire yet another manager in season who he's going to have to pay anyway. And that's on record as saying that he's not going to do that. Which is part of the reason he wasn't fired before the season started.
No, I get it. And my philosophy on baseball managers, they're not really there for the offense per se. They're there for to put the order as it should for who's hitting well and hope it gels from there. But my biggest thing with managers are there for the defense. You identify your best defensive players, you see what's wrong, you help them fix that. It doesn't seem like we're getting better on defense. I don't I blame the batting coaches more for the offense. I blame the defense on the managers. And with the worst defense in the league, he's got to go. He's got to go. I can't knock him for not winning.
I'm not going to knock him for not winning because this team has been set up again for failure before the year started. And there's a lot of signs that pointed to that. But a manager's primary responsibility, to kind of piggyback off of your point, is to set the culture, to manage the bullpen first and foremost, right? You're managing the pitching staff and the bullpen as games get tight. That's where you're making your most important adjustments in game. Is bullpen, is matchups, is they're bringing in this left-handed batter as a pinch hitter. Who do I have who can come in out of the bullpen when push comes to shove late in the 7th or the 8th that I can count on specifically to get that guy out? And then we'll work around the other batters in that inning when we need to. That's part of what a manager's primary responsibility is. Set the culture, make sure the defense is on point, manage your bullpen and guys that are coming in late in games for matchup purposes. Grafol does none of that. None of that at all. And the last thing that I'll say about it, former White Sox starting pitcher Lucas Giolito, when asked about Pedro Grafol, because the White Sox played the Red Sox recently, they basically asked him, what did you learn from Pedro Grafol? What did he teach you? And Giolito struggled to find anything. And Giolito's one of the most eloquent speakers that I've seen come through the White Sox organization. He really is good
Absolutely.
at talking about any and everything, players, teammates, coaches, managers, whomever the case may be. He's very good at, explaining himself. For Pedro Grafol, he had nothing. Nothing at all. He had a long pause and was pretty much a I don't know. And then he made up an answer about Pedro taught him what a leader looks like. Now, I interpret that as basically saying Pedro showed me what a leader is like because he isn't one. Period. That's the way I interpreted his response. So get him out of here. Zip him up. Body bag him.
No, I fully 1000% agree. Zip up, body bag, send a hitman after. By the way, a pretty good rom-com on Netflix I just watched. It was amazing. But anyway, yeah, no, I agree with everything. Pedro Grafol gotta go. We gotta do better. We're out of time right now, but I was gonna say let's talk about the future. But let's see. We'll talk next week about what happens the rest of the Seattle series, and we're also facing Arizona after. Arizona is going to be our first test, and then it gets a little harder with Houston. But once the Seattle series is over, next week we'll probably be talking about what we did versus Arizona. Get ready for Crochet to pitch coming up, so we're at least guaranteed, in my opinion, one win versus Seattle.
Perhaps.
And
We'll
yeah, that's all I got for now. All the games are away. Next home game isn't till Houston, so we might have to record at the home game. We'll do it Wednesday if we can with Crochet pitching, if we're able to. But all right. Anyway, on that note, you said what?
I said, yeah, we'll work those details out.
Okay, perfect. And on that note, everybody, thanks for watching us rant at our favorite team, the White Sox, brought to you by everyone's favorite host, JJ3, and his partner in crime, me, Harry. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.